people always think when women are like, oh, it's their fault. Let's talk about that, because shaming the victims should not happen at all.
It should not happen. And even when you think of any type of violence against women, the victims are ashamed. The victims often don't report to the police. I mean, how many unreported crimes of violence against women are there that go unreported because the victim is ashamed? They're ashamed of what happened. And, we're not ashamed when cancer happens. We're not ashamed of when we get other diseases. We have empathy for the victim. We have concern for the victim. However, in almost any type of crime or violence against another person, it's the victim who's shamed. And, that's an interesting quirk, if you will, in our society.
Well, and also, can I add that, a lot of the victims, co-workers, family and friends, may see their as a nice person. They've played ball with them, they've hung out with them, and they can't imagine that they're this type of violent person. So that's where it's also awkward for the victim to tell their friends this, because fear of them not believing that the nice person that they've been going out to dinner with and going to the movies and, having these good times at Disney, and all of a sudden when they come home and the door closes, the fists go flying and the fear starts. So it's very hard for people to take in that concept, but you have to believe the victim.
And the victims themselves have been led to believe that, they're at fault. I mean, how many times it seems like a cliche, see what you made me do. Yeah. And the victim themselves starts to believe, and I think that's where the wearing down of the victim comes. If I don't set this person off, if I don't set off this cycle, then the violence, or then the abuse, or even the verbal threats won't happen. And the truth of the matter is that no one person can make somebody else do something. I mean, go ahead and try and convince somebody of something against their will, and you can't do it. I mean, it's literally impossible.